morning, football fans, and welcome to 3 and Out, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Ladies and gentlemen, what a wild card weekend that was, as we put a stamp on the first round of the playoffs, and I'll tell you right now, they did not disappoint. Oh my goodness, if you were anywhere in or around a TV, let alone actually being at the stadium, you had to have gotten some jolts of lightning in you. I'm just saying, I mean, I was enjoying these games in every which way, whether it be at home, whether it be on my phone on Hulu TV. I mean, seriously, I was all over these playoffs, and they were incredible. Let's start things off with those Niners doing what we thought they would do. However, the Seahawks, my goodness, if they just get a few more pieces, I mean, you can't convince me otherwise. This team, they were so motivated, but fell short. Niners advance, and what a team they are, by the way. The Jaguars will have an amazing comeback versus the Chargers to advance to the next round. Fun fact, I just heard on Good Morning Football a little bit ago, Trevor Lawrence has never lost a game on Saturday. What does that mean for this Saturday? We'll talk about that. Also, on the Sunday, the Bills and Dolphins was a classic. Just as good as they were in the regular season of this year, and well, they did it again. The Bills would come out of this one just ever so slightly. The Giants, I mean, can we give this team a hand clap? No one, including me, trust me, thought they would be here except for their fans. Well, they would knock off those Vikings. Yeah, I think it was exactly what we thought the Vikings might have done. Anyway, the Bengals over the Ravens, and the Ravens with no Jackson, nearly no problem. And on to Monday's game, the Dallas Cowboys, well, they reigned supreme. Was that Brady's last go-around? And what are these Cowboys going to do in the next round? Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're ready to rock and roll, because I certainly am. Good morning, let's do this! You are now tuned in live to 3 and Out right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Welcome, football fans. My goodness, what a weekend we just had of football. I know, my apologies. I really tried hard to get on the last 2 days in the morning, but man, just with the busyness of work, it just wasn't happening. And, thank you so much, NFL, for having the cute little idea that there should be a freaking Monday game on the playoffs, which totally threw off the fact that I could have had a nice little early morning Monday show, or of course a Monday afternoon show, since it was the great Martin Luther King's birthday. But no, we thought it'd be cute to have a stupid game on Monday. So I really don't like that, but whatever. I know a lot of people don't either, but it is what it is, right? I guess one last Monday Night Football of the year. Anyway, with that said, playoff style that is. But anyway, with that said, you guys, we have ourselves a pretty good show here today. Definitely going to be a shorter one, but man, it will be action-packed as always. So, let's get to the recap of these games. I don't even think we're going to take a commercial today. We just have a lot to get into with these games over the weekend, and man, they were good. So, starting things off, the Niners made it happen. I mean, how about this, man? Mr. Irrelevant. I mean, you can't be more excited. You can't be more excited for a player right now in the NFL than Brock Purdy. I mean, the guy was picked last at the draft a few years ago, and well, he's not only helping his team to the playoffs, he's winning playoff games. I'm just saying, with Trey Lance behind center right now, I don't know if the Niners are beatable, and that's a very strong statement, because some people would still find some kind of way to say the Niners would be beatable. I think they would. I mean, every team is beatable, but my goodness, that would be a tall order. Now, with Brock Purdy, they're definitely more beatable than if they were to have if they were to have their man Trey Lance. But I'll tell you right now, with the level that Purdy's playing at right now, I mean it's incredible to see what this team has done. I love it. I love the fact that they are rallying behind this guy, that they don't even, no one stops to think on any team anywhere, you guys. Trust me. Oh, this guy was the last pick in the draft. This guy was undrafted. No, it's a guy who's there to play football, who's making football plays, making things happen, and that's all that matters. Trust me, there's no one in that freaking locker room that's saying, yeah, he was last pick, so we should be skeptical. No, they're saying he's here, he's playing football, he's making things happen, we're winning games. Guess what? We're on to the next round, and we are trusting our guy behind center. So Brock Purdy is doing amazing things right now, and I love it. I really love what he's got going. 18 for 30, 332 yards, 3 freaking touchdowns. He threw no picks. Look at Christian McCaffrey just doing his thing. 18 for 30, 332 yards. I'm sorry, that was Brock Purdy. I'm sorry, I got all excited. 15 carries for 119 yards. Imagine that. McCaffrey with 119. I'm just saying he's that good, though. What I'm saying, though, y'all, is this team is just, they've played out of their mind. Deebo Samuel, six receptions for 133 yards. He had a touchdown himself. But even then, these Seahawks were extremely good. I mean, Geno Smith this year took on the challenge. He has been, and it sucks, man. You really only get one chance. Okay. I'm going to try to retract that a little bit, but it's in the NFL, it's a business. You know that. And once you go out there and show what you got in the pros, it's really hard if you were somebody who couldn't cut it, or, at least to the rest of the league, couldn't cut it. And now you have become this backup guy, and, you kind of never relinquish that role. You got a guy like Colt McCoy. It blew my mind that he was 36. I remember him in college playing for Texas, and, I mean, it's crazy, because I'm like, yeah, that was when I was in college. That's crazy. Or a few years, actually, before I was in college, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. He's 36 years old. But, I've been watching, I watched Hard Knocks, and still got to watch a few episodes more of the Cardinals, but still, it's like he came into Arizona, he's like, I know my role, I know what I'm doing. See what I mean? Like, what I'm saying is you get a guy like Colt McCoy, and it's like, yeah, he knows his role. He knows he's not the guy, but when it's his time, he'll be the guy. But when the other guy comes back, the main guy, he's just kind of the other guy. You know what I mean? That's basically what it is. And that's what backups kind of do. It sucks, but it's just that. Geno Smith was kind of that guy, the other guy. And I'll tell you right now, it's the truth, man. You get a guy like Geno Smith, and he is proving, like, no, I really am the guy. I may have been the other guy for a little bit, but I am the guy. Trust me. And I love what the Seahawks did. I love what Pete Carroll, he's had the faith in him. And you know what? Who cares, man? They lost the wild card. What do you freaking do, man? They finished 9-8. They played damn good all season long. I surely did not have the Seahawks. Well, of course, we all knew on last week's episode all of my fails. I love to put those out there. I was writing some of them, but once again, I don't like to be that I called it guy. That's kind of annoying. But it's really cool to say, yeah, some of my predictions were correct. And some of them I completely bombed, such as the Seahawks being dead last in the NFC West. They really played well this year. And you know what? To go head-to-head, too, with the Niners, I mean, there were chances in this game where I really thought the Seahawks were just going to take them and go full blast. It happens. The Niners are a damn good team. I think we all know that. This team is incredibly strong. I mean, it is so hard to point out a weakness. It's an incredible job. Okay, I need to stop saying the word incredible, but they've done an amazing job. They really have, and I love how good this team has become. Especially just after, in this past decade, when the Niners, lost to everybody, if you guys remember that, I think it was 16 or 17 or one of those years. It's crazy to see now, what they've built. It just goes to show you that you can rebuild within a decade. Looking at you, Las Vegas Raiders. Anyway, with that said, This game at the half was 17-16. The Seahawks fought, man, and I loved it. I love what they brought to the table. Unfortunately for them, but very fortunately for the Niners, yeah, they went into the locker room and must have had a nice little pep talk or something, because by the end of the third quarter, it was 23-17. But what I really want to get at is they held the Seahawks to 0 points. That's what I absolutely love. I love it. Okay. And I really enjoy the fact that a good defense can do what they say they're going to do. And I'll tell you, there was somebody in that locker room probably said, they score no more, y'all. We're done. No, because you know why? We've done that. You know what I mean? And every team I've ever been on, there's been games where we're like, nah, man, no more points. No more points in the freaking second half. They were not, I don't give a damn. A field goal, nothing. They aren't scoring crap. And there's sometimes where we go out there and did it. And there's sometimes where you just don't, unfortunately, But with that mentality, if you have that mentality, my goodness, it's hard for the other team to win. You know what I mean? And vice versa. The other team may have that same mentality. That's what makes great football teams, right? Well, somebody went in the locker room at halftime and said, they're not scoring any more points. And, well, I think the Niners held true to that. In garbage time, you guys, in garbage time, it was 41-17. And with a minute 48 to go, the Seahawks do score. And you know what? It is what it is. But I do really love the fact that this defense, I appreciate them and how strong they really are. But at the end of the day, though, the Niners dominated that second half. Not the first half, for sure. But the second half, the Niners completely went off, especially in that fourth quarter. And when you can play that good in the fourth quarter, trust me, it's very hard to beat some of these teams. And the reason why I say some of these teams is because, it's the NFL. All right? There are some freaks out there. Things happen, y'all. But it is very hard to beat a team who can score that many points in the fourth quarter and really turn it on that late in the game when you're dead tired. Trust me, I know. I've been out there. It sucks. But looking at the total yards, man, 505 for the Niners, 332 for the Seahawks. Just an incredible job, all right? I love it. I love what these Niners have done. Turnovers, the Niners got 2 on these guys. Time of possession wasn't even that far off. 32-46 for the Niners, 27-14 for the Seahawks. At the end of the day, this team played very, very, very well, the Niners. And despite the Seahawks' strong effort, it just wasn't to be. So, head on over. Got some people in the chat, by the way, looking at it over here. Man, I love it. Well, thank you very much. Good sirs. Good morning to you both. Mr. Mike, Pat, and Taryn Rodriguez. Taryn is extremely bummed about his Chargers, as I would be if that was my team. I totally understand. Saying he canceled all of his plans to go cover some NCAA men's volleyball to watch the Chargers, and yeah, they fell off, so my apologies, good sir. The Niners may have one of the most complete teams out there. Yeah, we've been throwing that around the chat room in our iSports Radio chat room for the last couple of weeks, or at least the last week. They're so strong. Yeah, he says he has doubts about this team, and honestly, you'll see where my doubts come in. You'll see, but I'm there with you. And the Seahawks, no, they deserved it. Taryn, stop it. Of course, he covers SoCal, but I don't know. The Seahawks made it, man. The Seahawks proved it. They balled, and they got in there. They got in there fair and square. They fought like hell all season, and I loved it. And, of course, Mike trying to pick fun at my name. The reason why today's show is called January Madness is because, well, you gotta love the playoffs, right? And if you think about it, it's like the NFL's tournament. Therefore, it's madness. Yay! January Madness. But, yes, he just says I wouldn't describe these playoffs as madness so far. 4 home teams won. Dallas beat a team with a losing record. And the Vikinged. Yeah, good games, but predictable. Absolutely. No, but the name, hence, of course, the awesome March Madness tournament coming up in just about a month and a half. Yeah, really, actually about 2 months, because it's always in late March. So, anyway, so thank you very much for tuning in, y'all, and definitely appreciate y'all. Keep the comments coming. Agree? Disagree? All the fun stuff, y'all. That's what we're here for. So, all right. So, off to the next game. I mean, this was more of a... Oh, man. Well, we're going to get to Taryn's game here. Look, if you're a Jaguars fan, you got to thank your lucky stars. Everything that could have gone right went right for the Jags in the second half. And everything that could have went wrong for the Chargers in the second half went wrong. I mean, it was really Murphy's Law out there. It's cliche, but it really was a tale of two halves. You have the Chargers going out there and dominating. And trust me, y'all, this isn't even really a game to get much into. You have a Chargers team that should have played at the level they played at. That's it. Plain and simple. They had a horrible season, and I will say horrible because 10-7 with the team that they have, my gosh, they should have won at least 4 more games. I mean, I really think this team had a roster for the ages. But unfortunately, we all know the good old injury bug likes to visit teams sometimes, and it sucks. Even me as a Raider fan, I was really pulling for this team. I think all of you knew in my preseason. I keep on saying every week, I need to stop it already. But yeah, I picked the Chargers to go to the bowl, man. I thought they would win it. I didn't think they would go. I didn't think they would win it because of one team that's still in the playoffs. But damn, I mean, they had every chance, and it fell apart. Freaking injuries got these guys, and they got healthy at the right time. But it's just, when you're so... Let's use a funny word, discombobulated. When you're so, worn down with your backups and your injuries have now been healed, and you're getting guys out there who are barely in their third or fourth game of the season, and the cobwebs maybe not fully shaken off. Some of these guys, you don't know. Honestly, you don't know unless you've played the game. I mean, or really, I guess any sport competitively, you guys know, you athletes out there. I'm not saying anything to the non-athletes, but what I'm getting at is, I mean, I wouldn't know about being a mechanic because I'm not a mechanic, you know what I mean? But I will say that you're never fully healthy, and that's what kind of scares me sometimes about, just being an athlete in general and seeing these guys on TV, They get re-injured because they go out there because they're trying to cut the time down, They're trying so hard to cut that time down. The injury could have been, very, very well could have been diagnosed for 6 to 8 weeks. They're back in 4. Yeah, some people may say there's foul play there. I'm going to use my better judgment and just, give them the benefit of the doubt and just say they rehabbed really hard. But unfortunately, sometimes you're just not ready. Sometimes you're just not ready, you guys. You're just not. And it sucks. It really sucks that some of these guys would just fight their injuries so hard. Just be like, no, I need to get out there. I need to get out there. And yeah, sometimes they may not get hurt again, but they're hurting the team. Because if they can't be 100% them, that backup, which is like, still pretty damn good. Okay, they're in the NFL. It's that backup is better than a non-healthy starter, So, I mean, yeah, and I know, here I am, Raider fan, sticking up for the Chargers, but it just wasn't their year, and oh my gosh, they're going to be one of those stories that woulda, coulda, shoulda been, but just weren't, and, I don't know. I don't really know what to say more about the Chargers, but let's see what they do next season. But, total bummer for them and their fans. I feel for Taryn, they go out there and played so well in that first half, and I was like, oh, man, the Chargers are back. I was convinced. I was like, man, the Jags were good this year. They were actually pretty good, man. They finished, of course, at 9-8, but they were a good football team. I really enjoyed watching them play. Peterson, man, I think he just really went out there and coached, man. He coached so well. Him and this team, I mean, it's like a perfect fit, hand in glove. I really think that the Jaguars have a strong chance with this guy moving forward. And, it's just one of those things where you kind of just had to watch the game. There's no podcast, no anything out there that can really give you, no show on TV that can give you the full effect of this game because you had to watch it. The Jaguars scored late in the second second quarter, sorry. And 27-7 in the playoff. I mean, sorry, in the at the half. And in the playoffs, you can't ever be down that much, man. It's almost like it's nearly impossible to come back from that. And damn it, they did it. I mean, I'm sorry, but freaking Jaguars. And if it's going to be any team, right, it's the damn Jaguars. The butt of almost every joke in the NFL next to the Raiders. I mean, seriously, man. The Jaguars would start off the third quarter pretty solid, man. That defense was relentless. They didn't let the damn Chargers get in the end zone one time. Actually, in the whole second half. But at this point, in the third quarter, they got allowed one field goal. And after that, man, the Jaguars took off. Like, it was crazy to see how they did this. I mean, even when Cameron Dicker nailed that 50-yard field goal, guys, I really thought that was going to be it. Like the defense of the Chargers was going to take over and just run away with it. No, they didn't. Those Jaguars didn't go away. It was crazy. They scored at the end of the third quarter, and it's 30-20 now. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. It's like those little eyes, little eye emojis, the pair of eyes emoji. And it's like, uh-oh, wait a minute. Don't go nowhere yet. Don't leave the stadium, y'all. And into the fourth quarter, you're just waiting for the Chargers to score something, and they just couldn't do it. But you know who did in mid to late fourth quarter? The Jaguars. And Trevor Lawrence hit Christian Kirk for a 9-yard pass. The 2-point conversion was good, and oh my gosh, it's a 2-point game. It's 30-28. And then as time expires, Riley Patterson nails a 36-yard field goal. It's 31-30. Final score, and the Jaguars will roll on into the divisional round. I mean, really, you guys, it's insane, right? I mean, it's absolutely insane. Like, something you wouldn't expect. That was a Disney movie, man. I mean, that's about as good as that gets. Now, granted, this week is going to be a lot different for the Jaguars, but I'll tell you, they definitely have a chance, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. But, oh my gosh, what a game. Charger fans, man, I feel for y'all. And this is coming from a Raider who hates the Chargers, but I just feel for the Chargers, man. That hurts. Like, if that's not, like, the equivalent to getting kicked in the nuts in football, like, I'm just saying, like, you know, it is. That's like a kick to the nuts football style, like, you know, as a fan, like, from the team to the fan. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. It was tough. Taryn says here, as I would have liked to have seen the Lions in the playoffs, everyone would have. Oh, of course, it would have been great to see them in there. It would have been legendary, even if it was a beatdown. Yeah, but at least they would have gotten there. You're right. Taryn says also that at least the Chargers fired offensive coordinator and their quarterback's coach. That's crazy. Brandon Staley will still be the head coach, but he's going to have to re-earn the trust of fans, and if the Chargers don't make the playoffs next year, I think he gets fired. I think that's fair to say, Taryn. It's a business, right? Brandon Staley had no business playing most of the starters in Week 18. I completely agree. You're already in the damn playoffs. Just let it chill, right? Also, Mike Williams would have been great in the playoffs. Yeah, seriously, right? Joey Bosa 100% would have been great, especially when he's not throwing a hissy fit and screwing his team. I didn't want to spend too much time on this game, I know, but that was uncalled for. It happens, though. Taryn, you got to understand the emotion, and I know, you got to be professional, right? That's what it is, but he's a human, and I get it, and I've been in plenty of games where you definitely get angry, and you gotta control yourself, I know, especially as a professional, but sometimes your emotions do get the best of you, and I know he's sorry for that, but just a bummer all around for the Chargers. But dude, I mean, the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, 28 for 47. 288 yards, 4 touchdowns. He threw 4 picks, and the guy, man, he had one of the worst first quarters in playoff history, in wildcard history. He even said it. The announcers were saying it. It was crazy. Mateen looked great. 20 carries for 109 yards, sanctuary mark. Ingram almost at the sanctuary mark. 7 receptions for 93 yards and 1 touchdown. I mean, the Jaguars did it, man. They did their thing. 31-30. They're on to the next round. Taryn has one more comment here. This is the Chargers field goal. Yeah, Chargers missing field goal also kind of mattered. That kick veered to the left when it looked like it was going to be dead center. It did, and it just flew off to the left. But Joey Bosa throwing his helmet on the sideline and giving the Jaguars a 2-point conversion at the 1-yard line. Just sad, man. And yeah, you got to control yourself. It's the truth. So, next up, the Bills and the Dolphins. Oh, my. I mean, you have another crazy game, right? This one, it wasn't a tale of two halves. It was one gigantic tale of 60 minutes. This was a freaking game. The Bills were, man, I'll tell you right now, those Dolphins scared the crap out of the Bills. I don't even care. You can talk to the biggest, toughest Bills fan out there, man. There was a moment in that game where they were like, oh, man, we're going to lose. I'm just saying, I don't care. The Dolphins played football, man, and golly, like I said, they played great 2 games this year in the regular season. Both these teams, against each other, they played 2 dang good games. And the Dolphins looked like they could have actually done this. It was awesome, in the end of the first, 14-0 Buffalo. Okay, we kind of get it. Buffalo's strong. Are they going to come out and dominate? They might. They're riding the playoffs right now. This team is riding history. Could they actually make it happen this year? A lot of unfortunate things happening in Buffalo. Unfortunately, what happened with DeMar Hamlin, which all thoughts and prayers for him. Hopefully he's healing up and getting better. And forget football, just back to life is what we want for him right now, and just we pray that he's getting healthy. But they're playing for him. I mean, they're playing for the city. They're playing right now just for everything. And yeah, there was at the end of the first quarter, it's like, okay, yeah, they're probably gonna run away with it. Then they scored a field goal in the second quarter. It's like, okay, they're probably gonna run away with it. But then the dang Dolphins kicked 3 field goals in a row. Sanders nails all 3 of them, and it's 17-9 now, getting close to the end of the second quarter. Well, there's this gigantic ex-volleyball player, named Mike Gesicki, who, is pretty good at catching footballs, and there's a dude by the name of Tyreek Hill who's also pretty good at catching footballs, and well, Skylar Thompson found both of these guys there. Boom, boom. Touchdown and the 2-point conversion, and well, we're looking at a tie game going into the half until Tyler Bass nails that 39-yard field goal, 20-17, Buffalo heading into the half. Wow, I mean, really, you talk about a team who just doesn't quit. Those Dolphins fought, and man, I know I was like a lot of you guys out there where I seriously 1,000,000% thought, okay, you know what? Game on. Like, this is going to be a battle. I never thought that the Dolphins were going to, dominate the second half. I never thought the Bills were going to dominate the second half. I was like, all right, we're going to have ourselves a football game. I don't know if it's going to come down to a field goal. I don't know if it's going to come down to a touchdown. I don't know if it's going to come down to a field goal or a touchdown mid-fourth quarter and then someone runs away with it at the end. I mean, it looked crazy, right? But in that third quarter, we saw some things. First things first, the defenses were getting kind of soft. Let's just be real. At the start of the third quarter, no. Okay, you have the Dolphins, Zach Sealer returning a 5-yard scoop and score. That was pretty cool. And now the Dolphins are up 24-14. 24-20. And then you get an exchange in the late third quarter, and this is not where you want your defenses, either one, to just fall apart. They've played kind of stout in this game, but man, if you got to buckle down any given time, it's when you have a damn game like this. Need to buckle down. Cole Beasley, the Dolphins allowed a nasty drive. Cole Beasley gets into the end zone. And now you just let this team off the hook. You had momentum, and you just let them off the hook. What the hell? You know what I mean? Like, really? And then after that, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean defense. I meant like the Dolphins defense getting kind of soft. And then after that, just 3 minutes later in football time, now you have Gabe Davis, which I hope he's okay, but I know he was injured. But we have thoughts and prayers to Gabe Davis, by the way, and his family. But Gabe Davis now gets into the end zone, and it's like, freaking really? Like, Dolphins, if you wanted to win the football game, you kind of got to keep these guys out of the end zone. They're good, yes. But this is also the playoffs, and this is also a chance for you to actually advance. I mean, there's no other way to advance. You can't lose this game and hope somebody else wins and still go to the net. No, that's not how it works. You know what I mean? And this team completely fell off. It completely fell off. It is what it is. After that was the downfall. Like really. That now, on the other side, the Bills defense played lights out. They didn't allow any more scores all the way up until the beginning-ish of the fourth quarter with 10:53 to go. Jeff Wilson gets a 1-yard carry into the end zone. Sanders will nail the extra point. But it's like, yeah, you're going to get a few like that. But the Bills didn't mess around and pull the Dolphins, where they let the Bills score 2 touchdowns in a row. No, that Bills defense was stout. So just in case you think I'm talking crap over here, that's proof. Okay? The Dolphins defense let up one too many. The Bills defense did let up one, but they fought like hell to not let up another one. And that's the difference. And that's what happens, and that's how the Bills went on, man. So good job to those guys defeating the Dolphins. Allen actually threw 2 picks in this game. Pretty crazy, right? 23-39, 352 yards. Crazy, right? 3 touchdowns. He did throw 2 picks, but, man, I mean, just still, what a performance versus a pretty solid team. Singletary, 10 carries for 48 yards. Diggs, 7 receptions for 114 yards. At the end of the day, this Bills team was a strong one. Oh, my, they were a strong one. But, man, I mean, the Dolphins had every chance. They had 2 turnovers. The Bills had 3. Just an overall great performance, right, by both teams. And there you have it. So, kind of crazy how that whole thing happened. Darren here in the chat room. Yeah, those are my team moving forward. Yeah, going forward, I get you, brother. Hopefully they can win it all. Don't want to see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Hashtag win for DeMar. There you go. And Gesicki did indeed play volleyball back in high school. That's crazy. But he is tall, so it makes sense. Yep, and Mr. Taryn here covering all things volleyball here for us on IE Sports Radio with Set Point, now being partnered with the NVA, National Volleyball Association. Pretty awesome. And shout out to Mr. Nick England, by the way. Great dude. And then moving forward now, the Giants and the Vikings. Okay. Oh, one more comment here from Terrence. Says, Dolphins with 2-0 would have had a better chance. Oh, yeah. But their O-line resembled gift wrap. Yeah, basically. But that's an insult to gift wrap because that could have stopped a defense. I mean, he's not really talking crap when he's actually making sense. He's kidding. No, I mean, really, guys, it was ridiculous. It's true. That offensive line need to step it up. I mean, Skylar played well, right? I mean, the guy did the best he could, for the situation. Tua, we just hope and pray, thoughts and prayers for Tua as well. We just hope and pray he's okay. And, it's football, guys, unfortunately, and it's just how it goes, But thoughts and prayers for Tua as well, and hopefully he's healing up and he's okay. But at the end of the day, y'all, this Giants team, I think, gets the biggest. Remember old Lee Corso, the quarterback? I mean, the coach from NCAA, from the video games, man. He says they deserve a yo. Yeah. The Giants deserve a yo, y'all. Because I'm just gonna be real with you guys, man. Gosh dang it, man. The Vikings are like. it's kind of jacked up because so many of us knew this was a huge possibility. I think if you gave a survey and said, what is the team that's likely to lose this weekend? If all the favorites, out of all the favorites, what favorite do you think is probably going to lose? They probably would have said the Vikings. Like, don't get me wrong, not everybody, but there would have been a pretty strong percentage because everyone knows the Vikings are this weird freaking team. I'm telling you, man, they've been falling apart since like 2017-ish. They had a stout defense. They had such a great team. And then they completely fell off, and then they rose again. And we're like, yeah, hey, maybe they're not, like, you know, the crap we've been talking about them. No, they are. It was a good game. But the Vikings are... I'd rather be a Raider fan than a Vikings fan, because at least the Raiders give it to you. At least the Raiders don't give you no false hope. The Raiders just give, we're going to suck. We're going to fall off this year. They're not going to disguise a crappy performance in the wild card for a 13-4 team. I mean, golly, man. To think, right? To think the Vikings would have actually fallen apart in the worst time. I mean, now, let me go ahead and say a few things, okay? Number one thing. The Vikings, the last time the Vikings were relevant, like really relevant, was when Brett Favre led them, okay, to the NFC Championship in 2009, 2010 season, okay? That was the epic year where the Saints won their first. Kind of funny I would say that right when Bernie Bango popped in. Big shout to him, the host of our new Wisconsin show, man. Great dude. And crazy, right? Crazy that this team, that this Vikings team could just fall apart in that perfect timing. And they did. Bernie says here, the Vikings are exactly who we thought they were. 13 wins, and they had a negative point differential. Taryn chimes in also. Chargers give false hope too, but the Vikings deteriorated. Absolutely. No, I mean, this year, I don't know, man. The Chargers really didn't give false hope, man. They just got bit by the injury bug, and I don't know. Maybe the Vikings did too. I don't know. But what I do know about the Vikings is they won 13 gosh dang games. I mean, come on, bro. Like, we all knew the Vikings would be a good team in the playoffs, right? Every single one of us did, right? And they do some crap like this. I mean, come on, man. Like, that's frustrating. Like, at the end of the first quarter, it's 14-7. I mean, the Vikings start the game off with a touchdown. All right, Kirk Cousins leads them down there. You like that? Gets them a touchdown. But then we get back, I think actually back-to-back, okay, touchdowns here. Boom, boom. Okay, I think 2 straight possessions. The gosh dang Giants, man. They score. And Daniel Jones, the man with 2 master's degrees, I love that. I guess a big guy in education. But really, Vikings defense, you've looked quote-unquote good so far all year long. Then you fall off. Like, absolutely fall off. Okay? And, that's right. Sorry, Taryn. Yeah, Vikings also made the SEC Championship in 2018. Yeah, but Nick Foles had something to say about that. Yeah, I remember that. Sorry about that. I totally forgot. But, yeah, see, that's how irrelevant they are. Just kidding. No, it's a bummer, right? It's a bummer to see this defense just completely collapse. It's 14-7 now. Okay, did we think this was going to be a beatdown game? No, but I kind of expected the Vikings to kind of dictate it just a little bit. But we can't take anything away from the Giants, right? The Giants are a hell of a team. They played really well all year. I love what the Giants have done. I mean, they haven't been this far, my gosh, since they won the Super Bowl in 2012, knocking off the Patriots for the second time. Kind of crazy, right? For the second time in that 4-year span. The first time, the famous 18-0 season. But anyway, such a hard dagger for these Vikings, because at the end of the first half, we finally get a Vikings score to go with the first quarter score. Kirk Cousins hits KJ Osborne, and cool, the Vikings are now leading 17-14 with 45 seconds to go. Okay, now is where the Vikings kick in, right? They make up for their 17 unanswered. Well, they actually answer 17 points, right? Right, they're good. And they're going to go into the locker room, and they're going to make some adjustments, and they're going to come out, and they're going to come out firing. And wrong, no. Actually, what happened was the Giants came out and scored another touchdown on that defense that just looked ever so terrible. And then the Vikings will score again. Cool, all right. I guess now it's 24-21 going into the fourth quarter. So now is the time, right? Now is the time where the Vikings are going to regroup and say, nah, man, they don't score no more points. We're the better team. No more touchdowns. We can't allow it. We come this far. We're 13-14. We won a lot of games this year. We're going to win this goddamn game, right? Okay, so the Vikings offense was like, yeah, we're gonna go off in the fourth quarter and we're gonna score all kinds of points because we're a 13-win team and this team just barely got in the playoffs, and well, not really, but they're 9-7-1 and we're better than this team because we've had some great competition this year, and we're no, wrong. We're home. We're in front of our home fans. They deserve better, yeah. And then guess what? They kick a field goal. That was nice. 24-24 now. Cool. Okay, that's really cool. And by the way, I'm sorry, Giants led 24-21 going into the fourth quarter. Instead of a rally, you get a field goal. Just a field goal, that's all. Just to tie the game. And then the defense was like, we're going to take a massive crap in the center of this field. Actually, don't let me disrespect the Vikings logo. I like the logo. We're going to take a massive crap somewhere on the field. And they did. Because, Saquon Barkley is an amazing running back. But this defense should have played harder. Regardless, the offense could have been there to back them up, right? Wrong. The Giants were the ones who stepped up on defense and didn't let nothing but a damn field goal go. Bend don't break, right? They bent. They didn't break. The Vikings, though, they broke. Because with 7:47 to go, Saquon Barkley did it again. Second touchdown on the day. And guess what? It was good enough for a 31-24 victory. Hell of a job by the Giants. They got it done, and they're on to the next round. Oh my gosh, crazy, right? Daniel Jones, 24 for 35, 301 yards, 2 touchdowns, 17 carries, 78 yards. Crazy, right? I mean, the guy just went off. He did everything. And to think, he got Saquon Barkley on the team, and he led for rushing. Daniel Jones led for rushing, right? Crazy. And then Hodgins, 8 receptions, 105 yards, 1 touchdown. Terry chimes in. The Giants are the prime example of coaching matters. Yes. Brian DeBall for Coach of the Year. No, I agree, man. I don't know if I pronounce his name right, but absolutely. This is just a hell of a team. And the Vikings, they did it. They really did it. By the way, our very own Taryn Rodriguez was on the call for that game on IE Sports Radio, so hats off to you, good sir. I know he wasn't in the best of moods after the Chargers losing the day before that. But anyway, so we only got 15 minutes left on air, so I better get on. So, the Bengals over the Braves. Wow, the Bengals over the Braves, guys. Sorry, the Ravens. As you can see, baseball's around the corner. But, alright, so the Baltimore Ravens were Jacksonless. And damn it, it was almost as if it would have been okay. Now, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Huntley actually played pretty good football. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about Huntley, but what I'm saying is you get a guy that can go play pretty good, okay? I get it. Jackson probably would have made the difference. But Huntley actually played good football. Huntley actually played good football. 17 for 29, 226 yards, 2 touchdowns. He threw a pick, but it is what it is. Okay, Dobbins, 13 carries for 62 yards. Andrews, 5 receptions for 73. Yeah, they didn't play that bad. I mean, they were in the game, and we know that Lamar Jackson could have been the difference. But what I'm saying is defense, what the hell is your problem? You have, I know, as you can see, I'm a defensive guy, I'm sorry, but you have an offense that can score, man, and they can fight. They can do it. What's your issue? I get it. Burrow, I get it. Mixon, I get it. Chase, they're extremely talented. But what bothers me is where's the extra gear? And in my opinion, this is the gear that the Ravens defense was lacking all season, man. They've gotten some good pieces. But it was just insane to see this team. Terrence cold-blooded, man. Tyler Snoop Huntley, that failed leap from the 1-yard line was hilarious, or was hideous. No, agreed. And okay, he wasn't perfect, y'all. But what I will say is, really, defense. End of the first quarter, 3-0 Bengals. End of the second quarter, 10-9. Hey, there's that defense. They can freaking hold this team under 10 points, right? And they did. Cool. Let's see if they can hold them under 20. Nope, couldn't do it. In the second half. Second freaking half. And, well, once again, it's a game of wills, right? And that defensive will just wasn't as strong as that defensive will of the Bengals. Because why the Ravens couldn't quite get it done, the Bengals did. They got in the end zone. They exchanged touchdowns in the third quarter, 17-17 going into the fourth. And it really just came down to whose will was stronger. And with 11:39 to go, who would think that would have been the last touchdown of the game? But it was. And guess what? Sam Hubbard, 98-yard fumble return. Guys, it was a defensive play. What do you expect in the AFC North, right? Best way to win to end an NFC North game, in an AFC North game, right? Where I always say you got to play defense on offense to win games, and they did. Except for this time, they played offense on defense. That's fun, right? And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This was incredible. That defense for the Bengals rose up and made it happen. Now, regardless, the Ravens defense did keep the Bengals offense out of scoring. Or from scoring. But this is where you got to go above and beyond. We need a pick. We need something to the house. They did it. We got to do it. We have to accept the challenge. We have to. I guess I can't really blame it too much on the defense because at least they kept them out of the end zone. That's their primary job. Above and beyond just happens. But guys, I guess I was wrong. Defense did all they could. Unfortunately, it kind of just fell off at the end for those guys for the offense because realistically, when it mattered most, both defenses stepped up, and Lamar Jackson probably could have been the absolute answer to this. It could have been 24-17 the other way around, right? Or maybe even 24-24 into overtime. Maybe the Bengals would have won in overtime. Maybe the Ravens would have won in overtime. I don't know. But a big defensive play is what it came down to. And the Ravens, especially being known for their defenses over the years, man, they could have had this. So, anyway, the Ravens offense needed to actually pitch in and needed to make things happen. One more play. It came down to just one more big play, and it came on the scoop and score of Sam Hubbard. And that was the one big play in a big game like this. So, yeah, I was wrong. It was a total team thing. Ravens just needed to feed off of each other and get this thing done in the fourth quarter. But what a great game it was. And the Bengals, man, win this thing 24-17 and move on. And then last but not least, Monday night. All right. Can we all just agree that the Cowboys just... What is their problem, man? Like, I called that game versus the Commanders a few weeks ago on IA Sports Radio, and the Cowboys, man, it's like everything went wrong for those guys. Special teams was hideous. But this time around, the Cowboys actually played kind of okay. At the end of the first half, it was 18-0. Cool, right? there's no way the Buccaneers are going to come back from this, right? Right. That's exactly what happened. The Cowboys actually finished the football game. They've played a lot of them this year and won some good ones. But this was a very meaningful game, and the Cowboys actually looked like a football team. Now, granted, okay, the Buccaneers were a sinking ship. But the Buccaneers were just, It pains me to say, but I just kind of feel like, I don't know, man. Just kind of feel like the Buccaneers, like, the magic is over. I don't know, man. Brady, everyone's talking about him being a Raider next year. I don't know about that, but I don't know. I guess, and that might be true. Brady's going to move on, and the Buccaneers are going to go, do something else and whatever. Cool. But if that was Brady's last game, congratulations, man. Amazing career to one of the all-time greatest football players ever and the greatest quarterback ever. Tom Brady, TB12. But at the end of the day, you guys, it was Dak Prescott and his Dallas Cowboys that got it done. Prescott, 25 for 33, 305 yards, 4 touchdowns. Pollard went 15 carries for 77 yards. And Schultz, man, that guy's been on fire all year. 7 receptions, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, this team has been great. Brady went 35 for 66, 351 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And it's just kind of a rough one, man. White, 7 carries, 41 yards. Godwin, 10 receptions for 85 yards. It was just a rough night for the Buccaneers. And in that second half, Dallas turned it on, man. They got a nice touchdown too, by the way. Gallup, that was an awesome score from Michael Gallup, and they went up 24-0. Finally, at the end of the third quarter, Brady would find Julio Jones. Finally, 2-point conversion would fail. 24-6 going into the fourth quarter. And then into the fourth quarter, we have here another touchdown. This is where the defense rallies, right? No, can't do it. I mean, it's they closed the door with this, man. They slammed it shut. 31-6 as Dak Prescott finds CeeDee Lamb. It was just ridiculous, And yeah, Tom Brady found Cameron Brate later on in the fourth quarter, but it was garbage time, guys. I mean, and then he found Mike Evans for the 2-point conversion, 31-14, and that's what it would stay, you guys. The Dallas Cowboys would move on to the next round, and that's it. That's basically that when it comes to how good the Cowboys played in this game. I can't fault them. I will talk crap on this team because they've been unimpressive. They're like somewhat of another Vikings for me. But you know what? They balled in this game, and that's what gives me belief for the next round. So, Terrence says in the chat room here, Brady as a Raider with that Raiders O-line? He needs to hang up the closet. Yeah, the closets. Yeah, I agree, Taryn. I think it's about that time. But hey, who are we to dictate this man's career? We've been saying hang it up for years, and look what he's done. So, he won another Super Bowl. So, I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. But what I do know, though, for a fact is wherever he goes, whatever he does, man, congratulations to him. He gets on an amazing career, and hopefully he does what he wants to do and not what everybody wants him to do, So, with that said, you guys, we're on to this week. I know we only got like 8 minutes. Or actually, no, my gosh, like 6 minutes left now. Cleats. Dadgummit. Aaron looked at me. He needs to hang up the cleats. All right, that makes sense. I was like, closets. Anyway, with that said, and then there were 8, right? Okay, so my quick little pick'em for this week. All right, the Chiefs are favored by 9 over the Jaguars. The Chiefs have played absolutely awesome. Trevor Lawrence, Peterson, this entire Jaguars organization has gotten tremendously better this year. I just feel that the Chiefs are so damn hard to beat, and especially at home. They're pretty healthy from what I can see. I don't know. I mean, they do have some questionables. Edwards-Helaire and Fortson, those are tough ones, especially Helaire. But Clark, questionable. Hardman, questionable. I think they'll probably play. And then as of right now, Lawrence, Scherf, Matisic, Pryor, Agnew, they're all questionable. But I think they'll all play as well. At the end of the day, the Chiefs are going to be extremely hard to beat, especially at home. I'm going to take the Chiefs in this one. Next Saturday game here, we have the Giants and Eagles. And as much as I would love to see the Giants move forward and shock everybody, and they just might, the Eagles, they've been my Super Bowl team since the preseason, man. Cale Henderson really convinced me, and from what I've seen this year, they played so well. They have played so well, and this team is just, they're awesome. There's a bunch of injuries, questionable, so I think a lot of them are going to play on both sides. Well, for the Giants, they got a good amount, but on the Eagles side, they got a few. At the end of the day, though, I got to go with the Eagles. I'm still not going to turn my back on this team. I think they're good. They're favored by 7.5 points. I think they're going to win this game. Awesome NFC East matchup in the divisional round. Then on to Sunday's games. Bengals and Bills. The game that we saw half of the first quarter of a few Monday nights ago, but unfortunately, just something terrible happened to where football didn't matter one bit anymore with one man's life on the line and his health. Thank God Damar Hamlin's okay. Let's get thoughts and prayers to his family. But now we're going to see this game get played. Let's see what happens. The Bengals, solid. The Bills, solid. This is like a mini Super Bowl in its own, man. This is definitely the top two teams of the AFC. It's so close for me, but I'm going Bills. The Bills are favored by 5.5 points. Let's see what this team has. And then Niners and Cowboys. Oh, man, the Cowboys are at 12-5. Niners 13-4. I mean, just an amazing performance last week from the Cowboys. But the Niners are too good. The Niners are just too good. And ladies and gentlemen, there's no other way I can go right now. I have to go with these Niners. We've been saying around the iSports Radio chat room, they're one of the most complete teams in the NFL. And you know what? I think they're going to show it yet again this week. With that said, cue the music, because we're out of here! All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it. Taryn also says, get rid of divisions. No team under 500 should be in the playoffs. Yeah, I can see this one. My picks, Chiefs, Bills, Eagles, Niners, yeah. Boring picks, yes, but logical. Yeah, it sucks, man. I would love to see, I mean, who knows, man? We could actually get some madness in this, right? We could get one of these teams pulling an upset. We could. But at the end of the day, what are we really going to get? I mean, it just seems like all the home teams this week are extremely strong. I think all four of them, well, the two on each side are on collision courses. And we're going to find out. I think the disagreements are going to be a lot in championship weekend next week. And we're going to see who does what. I don't know. Yeah, Taryn says here, the Cowboys, to me, always find a way to not make the NFC Championship. They're just as cursed. I feel they're just, I don't think they're cursed, but they just can't get it done. When it comes to all these home teams, they're extremely strong. All of them know how to win some games, and they're all damn good. What I feel right now is Chiefs and Bills will be very exciting on the 29th. And also, and that's actually the later game, the AFC Championship. And Niners and Eagles, oh my gosh. I mean, those are four teams. All four of those teams are on here to win the Super Bowl. All four of them. But we can only get one, right? And only two can play in that game. Oh, it's going to be great. But, I'm just counting out the other four teams. What upsets will we see? Who wants it more? What wills will be stronger? Ladies and gentlemen, that is how this one will close. And this has been another episode of 3 and Out right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. My goodness, what a great one it was. You can follow the show at 3 and Out IESR, all spelled out, 3 and Out IESR. You can follow us all as a whole at 3 and Out. At IE Sports Radio across all social media networks, most of them. And then, of course, catch our podcast wherever you get your podcasts. I think we're pretty much on all of them. We'll keep on moving. Also, check us out at IESportsRadio.com. Show us some love. Shout out to our Patreons, Mrs. Parsons, Mr. Marcus Rose, great Bay Area Apparel, and Anonymous. And big ups to all of our listeners here today, Mr. Bernie Bengo, Mr. Tanner Rodriguez, and Mr. Mike Pat. Big shout out to all of you out there. As I always say, all props to the man above, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. For without him, nothing is possible. And tons of thank yous to all of you out there listening. For without you guys, IE Sports Radio is not possible. Follow me or Later, be at the THEE_LP53. And well, I will see y'all next week. Until then, take care. And as always, God bless.